Is it true that Cha Eun-woo was bullied at the military barracks? Tracing the facts, rumors, and reality of South Korean conscription since officially entering the military on July 28, 2025, the name Cha Eun-woo, an actor and member of the popular boy group ASTRO, has again dominated the Korean and international media. A figure known for his near-perfect visuals and the image of a versatile man, not only left the entertainment scene with a myriad of achievements, but also entered a new chapter in his life, becoming a soldier of the Republic of Korea. However, it didn't take long for the rumors to emerge. One of the most talked about issues is the allegation that Cha Eun-woo experienced bullying in the military barracks, even mentioned that an instructor had done actions that were considered unpleasant. This rumor quickly spread on social media, coupled with snippets of stories from anonymous posts that sparked wild speculation. Is Cha Eun-woo really being bullied? Or is this just a story magnified by the public's attention to top celebrities who are living the life of a conscript? To answer it, let's go in depth. From the background of the South Korean military system, the chronology of the emergence of rumors, successfully verified facts, to an analysis of the impact of this issue on public perception. South Korea is one of the countries with the strictest military obligations in the world. All physically and spiritually healthy South Korean men are required to enter the military at a certain age, usually before the age of 30. The duration of service varies depending on the military branch, about 18 months in the Army, longer in the Navy and Air Force. This policy cannot be separated from geopolitical conditions. Since the armistice of the Korean War in 1953, the Korean Peninsula has remained in the status of a conflict that has not completely ended. The threat from North Korea keeps military vigilance always high, and the conscription system is seen as a way to maintain national defense readiness. For the general public, conscription is a routine phase that must be passed. However, for celebrities, especially K-pop idols and famous actors, this moment is always a big highlight. Many of the public wanted to know how their stars adapted in the harsh environment of military discipline, away from the stage spotlight and glamorous life. A number of cases in the past show how tricky the position of celebrities while serving the military. Some were praised for being able to carry out their duties humbly, others drew criticism for being considered privileged. Cha Eun-woo, real name Lee Dong-min, born March 30, 1997, is one of the most popular figures of his generation. He debuted with the group ASTRO in 2016, then expanded his career into acting with successful dramas such as My ID is Gangnam Beauty, 2018, Rookie Historian Gu Haryung, 2019, and True Beauty, 2020. His popularity skyrocketed until he was nicknamed Face Genius because of his good looks that were considered perfect. In addition, Eun-woo is also known as a singer, host, to a model who sells well. His global popularity makes his every move always a subject of conversation, both in Korea and abroad. So, when he finally left for the army, public attention was sharply directed to him. From his emotional farewell to fans to his first photos at training camp, all made headlines. Not long after Eun-woo enters the military training center at Nonsan Army Training Center, a story emerges that immediately catches the public's attention. The story originated from an anonymous post on social media claiming that Cha Eun-woo got a job washing dishes at the barracks. This story seems simple, but then it develops with more dramatic details. It is mentioned that a fellow trainee even handed him their plate in order to be able to see his face more closely, so that the burden of his duties increased. From this, some netizens concluded that Eun-woo was bullied or treated unfairly. Not stopping there, there were also rumors that an instructor had made comments that were considered inappropriate. However, the more widely reported version is that the instructor warned the other trainees not to stare at Eun-woo constantly, saying, "Don't keep staring at him, he's human too." The rumors quickly spread across platforms, from online forums to international entertainment news portals. Sites such as Pink Villa, Money Control, and Okpop also cite the story, although most insist that the primary source is anonymous. Until this news was revealed, there was not a single official report from the South Korean military or Cha Eun-woo's agency, Fantajo, confirming any cases of bullying against him in the barracks. All the information circulating comes from anonymous testimonies and social media uploads. In South Korea, bullying in the military is a very serious issue. The government and military agencies have long tightened rules to prevent verbal and physical violence in the military. If there really was such a case, there should have been an official investigation. The fact that there are no reports or investigations means that these bullying claims have no solid basis. The most cited version of the media precisely states that the instructor takes a protective role, not aggressive. When fellow trainees stare at Eun-woo too often because of his charms, the instructor rebukes them by saying, "Don't stare, he's human." The simple sentence shows the instructor trying to put Eun-woo on an equal footing with other trainees, so that he doesn't feel awkward or intimidated by excessive attention. Another lingering issue is about Eun-woo getting a job washing dishes. To the lay public, this may be viewed as a form of punishment or manual labor. But in the context of the military, the division of household duties in the barracks was commonplace. Each trainee usually has a turn from sweeping, mopping, cleaning the room to washing dishes. That is, this task is not a form of humiliation, but part of the routine and collective discipline. What made Eun-woo's story viral was the added detail that the other soldiers handed him their plates just to get a closer look at his face. If this story is true, then it is more a fan phenomenon in the barracks than bullying in the real sense. International entertainment media quickly caught on to the issue. Sites like Pink Villa and Money Control write articles with catchy titles that imply Eun-woo gets different treatment. However, the content of the news still makes it clear that the initial source is just an anonymous story, not an official report. Korean media such as MK and Jongang Daily are more cautious. They tend to highlight the positives, such as the photos of Eun-woo circulating from the barracks, the expression of his spirit, and how he still looks charismatic even in a simple military uniform. Thus, it can be concluded that the narrative about bullying grows more from a spectrum of rumors and public interpretations, rather than facts supported by concrete evidence. The early weeks at a military training center are usually the toughest. The new soldiers had to adapt to a strict schedule. Getting up at 6 a.m., morning apples, physical exercises, weapons training, up to hygiene duties. There is no distinction between celebrities or ordinary citizens. All are treated equally. Cha Eun-woo, although famous, also has to go through this routine. From the official photos circulating, it can be seen that he is wearing a standard green uniform, without makeup, without the typical idol hairstyle. This is one of the reasons why the public is always curious. How does a superstar fit into such a simple and austere life? In the barracks environment, inter-trainee interactions often involve jokes, mostly intended to break the ice. However, there is a fine line between joking and bullying. In Eun-woo's case, the story about a fellow trainee handing him a plate might have been a joke, not an act of condescension. But since the figures involved are world-class public figures, small jokes can quickly be perceived differently in the eyes of the wider public. Eun-woo is not the first celebrity to be drafted into the military. Previously, many famous K-pop idols such as G-Dragon, SHINee's Taemin, and BTS's Jin also went through a similar period. Each case has a unique dynamic. Excessive attention to celebrities can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, they can get moral support from fellow soldiers who feel proud of one barracks with famous figures. But on the other hand, they can also be the target of jokes or even jealousy. Therefore, the military usually reminds instructors and other soldiers to keep treating celebrities fairly, not giving privileges, but also not treating them harshly. Rumors about Cha Eun-woo immediately sparked a big discussion on platforms such as Twitter/X, Instagram, to Korean online communities Naver Cafe, Pan, DC, and Side. Hashtags such as #ProtectChaEun-woo and #WeSupportChaEun-woo have appeared in trending, especially among international fans.